Hey folks, JD here, and now the fog is clearing. If you've been following these videos throughout the days, sorry, these videos are a lot smaller than my usual ones. They're a lot more condensed. The whole reason of that is because I wanted to have this week as mainly features, functions of the Mavic Mini, and obviously that's exactly what I've been doing. I've been standing out here for about an hour and a half, roughly, in between people coming into the field and leaving the field and everything else, and me warming up the battery and everything. And so far, we've got about 46% battery left. I want to try a return to home test. So we have no wind here today, and in the original flight test it's always something I want to do, and I didn't get around to doing it because of the wind, and the battery went down a lot quicker than it should have because of the environmental factors, and I just ran out of time. So what I need to do today is I want to do a return to home test. So the first thing that we're going to do with any return to home test or any quadcopter flight is ensure that your app doesn't crash, which looks like this might be doing. Ooh, yeah. Looks like it is. Oh, no, there we go, fine. Just took a long time to open that. Wow, real long time. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to calibrate the quad. Now, I have been standing here for a while and I have calibrated it already, but still I'm going to calibrate it once more. So standing up at 1.5 meters approximately, which is not, this is not 1.5, but it's as much as I can reach. Calibrate the quad, and we need to update the home point as well, just to ensure that the home point will be set for the correct place. And then from that point then we should be able to return to home. Now, we have got somebody coming into the field, so I am going to have to leave it until this person leaves, and then I'll be able to take off. Depends which way they go. If they go to the left hand side or down the back. Yeah, it looks like they are. Oh, actually it looks like they're leaving. There we are. Okay, so it looks like I'm good. So I'm going to give it a couple more minutes anyway, just for them to exit, and then we'll go. Essentially what I'm planning to do today is head towards the direction of the sun, thereabouts, and see. There won't be a lot of distance. I'm going to get a bit of distance out of it, don't get me wrong, but what I'm aiming to do more than anything is seeing whether the return to home brings her back to here or brings her off center, just because I want to see exactly how well that GPS module as well as the satellites are actually working. Now, this is in GPS mode, as you saw. I am calibrated, I am good to go, so I'm clicking and I'm taking off, and now there we go. Beautiful. So I should be good. So I'm going to go to an altitude. I'm going to alter this gimbal slightly just so I can see the underside. I'm going to alter this height to about, let's leave it at 60 odd feet. Let's take her up a little bit more, because some of these trees are very, very high, and I think I will go past them without there being much of an issue, but at the same time I want to ensure that I do that. Let's stop her there for a second. I want to get a little bit of screen telemetry so I can have a little look at it in the house as well. So let's do that. Perfect. There we go. I might actually change her trajectory slightly because she's very much in the sun. I just want to see exactly how it does, really, more than anything, because out of all the quads I've ever flown. Oh, aircraft signal interference. Okay, let's use that as a good point to return to home. So click and hold, and she will automatically then hopefully return to home. So now I'm just watching her turn around, and I can see her in the distance, ever so small little black dot. It's very cool on a day like today. You can really see quite far, and even though the sun is extremely in my eyes, she is literally just coming over me now. So there she is, just in the air, which is a beautiful point. And I'm intrigued. I'm going to move my bag, because this is always one of my failings, that the quadcopter comes down and then hits the bag, or I rush to get the bag out of the way. And I'm really quite intrigued to see exactly how this does today as well. So we took her out, we were over 500 foot, and now I want to see her land. It's a relatively simple, relatively easy test, but at the same time, I always want to ensure that I don't like using return to home as anything other than a last resort. There we go, it's coming down, no problem. And I have got people in the field. Luckily I'm landing. Once I have landed, I will let them move past. There we go. Oh, that looks pretty damn on the money. Oh, it looks a little bit out. Yeah, a little way out she's going to be. Oh, she's going to land in all of that frost. Bit of grass cutting. There we go, let me pick her up. Actually, before I do, let's do the 1, 2. Oh, that wasn't really accurate. 1, 2, three and a little bit, 3 and a smidgen, maybe 3 and an inch, 3 foot and an inch away from the landing pad. So that's not too terrible. What I'm going to do before I do it again, I'm just going to leave these people past me. Okay, so usually what's the old saying, repeating something more than once and expecting the same results is the sign of madness. Well, I've already got that t-shirt multiple times, so we're going to keep on doing this for a little bit. I'm going to do this again. Now obviously being up at over 500 foot, I know you couldn't see a lot from the original video because of the sun and everything else and the glare, and I know that this isn't a look at the video, look how pretty everything is video. I'm just more inclined to see exactly how well this return to home function works. I look at the return to home function as your last point of at your alternative to losing your quad. In other words, I mean, return to home auto initiates if you do lose signal. It auto initiates if you have any transmitter failure as well, but at the same time ensuring that your quadcopter comes back to your original home point is very, very important. Now 3 and a bit foot out, I'm not going to quibble too much about that. I did expect it to be a little bit better. I mean, I have had a lot cheaper quads land directly on this home pad, but at the same time I have had totally different weather. I don't think I've had that happen in the freezing cold ice like we have here, but then again, I may be wrong. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to take off. We're going to go in a different direction. This time we're going to go up and out towards that way, and then I'm going to auto return and see what happens there. So up we go. So what I'm going to do is just keep my eye on the quad. Not going to get any video from it, just going to keep my eye on it. Maybe turn it around a little bit. Whoa, my fingers are very cold. Probably a good time to stop actually. So I'm going to just go to here. Let me just turn that down a little bit. There we go. Just going to fly a little bit out. Still see it, no problem. Right, there we go. We're 372 foot out. She is right in front of me, the tiniest black speck there, but we can still see her. That's no problem. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and hold again to auto return, and now she's going to climb up and she's going to return. So I can see her climbing. There we go. She is at her return to home height, and now she is going to come back. There's a bit of video is quite a bit jittery. Oh no, she's still going up to her return to home height. There we go, still see her. She is right now in the great big blue, a little speck right there, and here she comes. I mean, I'm guessing, I'm looking at where I am with the home pad. Obviously our angles are going to be a little bit off, and she is looking like she's going over a little bit too much to my left, her right, but at the same time, hey, it's returning back at the same point. You know, you can't quibble too much at the same time, because the quadcopter will come back, and that's exactly what I want to know in these tests. Usually I rule these into the flight test, but as I say, I didn't get an opportunity to. Perfect. I love the controlled descent. Now before it was, I would reckon, on a very rough approximate measure, 3 foot and 1 inch. Very unscientific, of course, you must understand, away from the landing point. Now in the third attempt I'm going to update the home point. There we go. So now she's there. So 1, 2, 3, about the same again. About the same again. I can't really quibble that. That is about the same again. So okay folks, so we've had the 2 tests. Both time it came down once in front at 3 foot and 1 inch approximately. Again, this is all just me measuring with my feet. It's very unscientific. And the second time it came down on top of that clump there, I think it was, or around about this area. And again, I'm happy that both times it returned to home. I would have liked it a little bit closer, but at the same time, you don't know exactly how this weather, how the cold is going to affect it. So I'm just happy that it returned to home, and it returned to home both within the same measurement, 3 foot and 1 inch approximately, 3 foot and 1 inch approximately. Now, unfortunately, because I've had to wait for people to move back and forth, and there's a lot of fog here, it's getting worse, as you can see. I'm going to stop that for today. Plus I'm on 20% battery, low battery warning. I don't want to try her again, and because as soon as I take off now, if she does take off, we'll automatically return to home. So I'm going to call that a day, folks. There, but so far I think with this, I would have liked it to be a little bit closer, but as I say, it's probably not, this weather is probably not going to not going to be helping the quadcopter. But I'm very happy the fact that the twice, one out at over 560 odd foot and the other one at only 150 odd, I'm happy that she did return to home without there being any issue. As long as you calibrate your compass, as long as you've got a good quadcopter which is capable of GPS, oh sorry, getting a bit cold here, which is capable of GPS lock-on from satellites, which has a GPS module, and as long as you're flying and there is no other obstacles around you, you shouldn't have any problem at all in returning to home. To be fair, I'm really quite happy with how that looks. I think I'm gonna, when the next firmware update comes out, I'm going to be going through and checking this return to home again, seeing exactly how it goes, if it gets any closer. I'm not too concerned about that. As I say, the fact is that she returned. That's the important part, and your return to home function, as I see it, is your fail-safe. If you can turn on and fly back manually, do that, because A, it's going to improve your piloting skills, and B, return to home, I look at it as a fail-safe. I look at it as a fail-safe. If you've flown out, turn around, bring her back. As soon as you do that a few times without there being any issue whatsoever, it'll improve your flying skills. And above all, it's a lot of fun just to take the reins in your own hands and to get it to fly back. Right then, I'm starting to waffle, and that's one thing I said I wouldn't do this year. So there we are, my friends. I'm going to cut that. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and ring that bell too. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.